Are you full of energy, motivated to do everything that it is that you're to do? Or are you tired? Are you, have you lost your energy? Or what does it take for you not to be able to do things that you have to do? I look at people a lot younger than myself, and I actually did some research. I did some studying. I did some finding out and listening to other scientists, other doctors, and all of this. And we've come to the conclusion. And actually, I started with the Bible, and then I went to science, and then look at other people. But here's one of the things: if your motivation is low, if you are not motivated, and I talked in one of my other YouTubes about, if you don't know who you are, then you cannot be motivated and have the energy in order to fulfill a purpose. Why is that? Because you don't even know your purpose. It changes. It is fluid, and it's passing, and so what happens is this: without motivation, you don't have the energy in order to be single-minded. But without the energy, you don't have the motivation to go towards your goal or your purpose. Goals, I'm not a goal maker person, but I do set targets. I do set plans. I do have posts that I must hit at certain times. And the reason I said I don't set goals is because goals always have to have a time limit on it. There are things that will happen that I will accomplish before the end of 2024. Okay. But how I get there, if I'm focused on, I have to have this done, I have to have this done by then, I have to have this done by then, otherwise I'm a liar. No, this is where I'm headed. I know that I will be able to get this done. Here's the plan. And so what happens is this: is my energy and my motivation is that I will reach that point. I talked about this, I think it was this week on the other YouTube. And what happens is this: then what my mind and my brain starts to search for avenues in order to help me get there. Now, if I have a healthy brain, if I'm eating brain foods, if I'm doing the berries and the walnuts and the different things, the eggs and the protein and just whatever it is for my health. Let me share something with you. All brains are not equal. No two people have to have the very same thing. Some people will let you know you should only eat these things. You have to have so much omega-3s. You have to have so much this. You have to have so much this. No one knows how every single solitary brain works. Dr. Daniel Amen, he was one of the first people that did imaging. And I worked with his clinic. I would take my patients there when he was in Fairfield, California, and when his clinic was there. And then I worked with some of the psychiatrists. They've sent me clients, patients, and different people. And so we've interacted and all of that. Well, the brain imaging, because I at that time I dealt with people that were dealing with drugs and alcoholism, and then abuse, males, and males get abused a lot more than women. Sometimes, it all depends on the on where you are. And these were affluent men that were being abused, not only in their businesses and corporations, but many times their mates and all, because of money, because of the situations, because of circumstances. And it was mentally, and some of them were physically also. But let me get back to the brain thing. But one of the things that I found out is this: all brain scans, all brains workings are not equal. Everybody did not work the same way. You could look at one brain and had all these holes in it, and it was a very unhealthy brain. And then you would look at the foods that that person had eaten, but then you could also look at the things that were happening here that were toxic to it. And so there was breakdowns. And I found that as I work with people, I found out one thing. I found out that you have to have the foods, the exercise, and all of these things that go along with it, the waters, the liquids, and all of this that go along with that person. Sometimes it's nation, sometimes it's a nationality, sometimes it, it's an environment that a person has come out of. And so you find out what works with your body. Remember, the second gut that they call the second brain is the gut. So how it is that you digest things are very important for you also. You said, Dr. Baker, you were talking about energy and motivation. These are fine points of energy and motivation. You know, I can be motivated to do something, but if I've eaten wrong and I've not stayed hydrated, or I've done things just because someone says, oh, here's the newest trend, like I take eggs out of my body, or I take the salt out of my body. See, my body, I go and I had all of my tests done, and it showed that my sodium level was very, very low. My daughter that was always saying, "You don't need to use salt. You don't need to use salt." And my doctor was saying, "Your sodium level is so low." And I'm looking and I'm saying, "See, I do need salt." Anyway, that's just one of my funnies right there. But what I'm saying is this: you pay attention to your body, to your energy level. If eating a certain thing, if eating walnuts, if you find out that that tires you out, then don't eat walnuts. If you find out that almonds, which is a brain food, or blueberry. See, I'm more of a blackberry person than a blueberry person. Blueberries will do certain things and blackberries will do others. So your diet is important, but you have to be the keeper of that. You have to look at what is good for you and what's not. What gives you brain energy? What allows you to think? What allows you to dream? What allows you to imagine? What allows you to be motivated and then have the energy to follow through with that? So all of these things are important. Sleep is paramount. Without good sleep, your brain does not get the oxygen. One of the things that it does also, it does not cleanse itself. In the nighttime, in the sleeping time, your brain goes through, it's almost like, okay, I'm doing like your computer here. What happens in the computer, many times you have these things that it says, we have an upload for you, or we need to clean this, or you need to clean this. And it happens when you're sleeping. It happens when you're not utilizing it. This is something that goes on with the brain. And when you realize that I must have 7 to 8 hours of sleep, or 6 or 8 hours of sleep, or whatever it is, and having it so it's the rapid eye sleep, it's the REM sleep, okay? This is something that's very important. Many people say, I don't need that much sleep. Oh, child, I'll just go ahead and I take 2 hours and I'm just great. I mean, I'm just running on it because I got so much to do. You are wearing yourself out, your energy level, your ability to think. It will come upon you later in life. Okay. As you know, I'm in my 80s. And one of the things of it is this: I had a time in my life where I really had to fight for my memory. I had to fight for words. I had to fight for, fight to bring those things to recall, because I was not about to allow them to escape, and then to me to get into a place where here it was that I would yield to Alzheimer's or dementia or any of those things. I had to look at, what is it that I need to change? What is it in my life and in my eating and my sleeping, in my body? What is it that I need to readjust? What is it that I need to adjust? So I have this picture of myself. It's right here, but I have it framed in my mind that at 100 years old, if God lets me, allows me to stay here, then I won't be like some of my relatives. Some of my relatives died at 112. And one was, I think she may have been 113. But At any rate, one was really sharp, the other one wasn't. What happened is this: what was the difference? I study, I read, I reinvent myself, I look for things. So these are things that I'm telling you about me so that you can realize these are things that are necessary for you in your young age, or whatever age you are in. These are things that are for your health. This is about you. These are things that I talk about in my Optimize Your Brain Challenge and the boot camps and all of that. But I'm giving this to you right now. You can take what it is that I'm giving you and you can change your life. You can start to make these changes. Making these small changes will make big changes in your life. I read on a constant basis. You need to. I hated reading, but I always have a book. I always have a book around. I read the Bible and I read other things. The Bible says to study to show yourself unto God, a workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So I do research also, and I do not mean Google. I mean, Google is not your research engine. Google is not where you do real research. You are going to have to look. You're going to have to search the history. You're going to if you're going to stimulate your brain, you're going to need to do things to jar it. Okay, if a computer, a calculator, if every time you need to add something, if every time you need to figure out something, you pull out your little calculator and let that do that, your machines are smarter than you are. You want to keep a sharp mind. You want to keep a sharp brain. You want to keep a brain that is plastic. I mean, that is moving. That is the plasticity of it. It's meant to grow. It's meant to expand. It's meant to take in new ideas. It's meant to cleanse itself. It's meant to do these things. This is how God designed you. You are designed. I do not believe in evolution. I don't believe that I came out of a bang. I know I didn't come from no monkey. I know I didn't come from an animal because I have speech, because I have been designed by a designer. And so therefore you can help to design your brain. This is what it is. He has given you creative power. So what does that mean? What it means is this, is that you are able to decide, okay, I am going to read a paragraph every day. I'm going to look for 5 new words every day. I'm going to learn the meanings of 5 brand new words every day. I'm going to increase my vocabulary. I am going to figure something out. I'm going to remember a phone number. I'm going to remember this phone number. And this is something that I've done. I had someone in my coaching class, my boot camp, and her name was, I think it's Haitian and I don't know. I think she's is Haitian and Jamaican or whatever. Any rate, her name had 4 syllables. And every time I would try it, I'd get it all mixed up. And she said, well, no, that's okay. You can just call me this. I said, oh, no. No, 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 no. It's your name and you deserve for your name to be spoken correctly. And I cannot give up on that. And so now I pronounce her name perfectly. What does that mean? That means that I was not about to have a lazy brain. I was not about to have a lazy mind. Stop allowing yourself to be lazified. That's a word that's in my dictionary. It's not in any of the other dictionaries. And this is what happens most of the time. That's the reason that people are not motivated. That's the reason that people don't have the energy. Yesterday, I did not get a great night's sleep. And actually, I did not get a great night's sleep. And so this morning I woke up and first I thought, oh, I had a great night's sleep. And then I thought about it and I got up and started moving around. And I was thanking God for a great night's sleep, which I thank him for today. And I thank him that I will have one tonight, a real one. At any rate, I was just kind of tired. And then I realized something. I got to do this. All of a sudden, I was motivated, and the energy I had was I was motivated to do what it is that I was to do, to release this content for you. And then what happened is the energy came, and you can see I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I mean, it's like, and I have not had anything but my water. I had coffee earlier, but that I was still tired even after I'd had the coffee. But what happened was this: I let my mind and my brain know you have to go to work. There is a job for you to do. There are people that you are here to serve. And so that is my motivation. That is where the energy came from. Find your purpose, find a purpose, realize that you are more than what you have been up to now. If you were not, then you would be dead. Okay. You would have completed your purpose in the earth. So never stop growing. Never stop learning. Find out the foods that are good for you, that work in your body to enhance your brain and your mind. Any of the things that give you fogginess, cut them out. Start to rule things out of your diet. Start to rule things out of your life. Start to rule people out that are keeping you from achieving what it is that you have to achieve. Start to, well, no, I can't go to that family thing. I really am going to do this. I'm not planning all of these other things because I have decided this is what you have to, you decide what's really important to you. And it's not cutting all these things out cold turkey, but it's letting people know, I normally go with you to this, but I'm not going to do that this year. I normally do all of these things, but you know what? I got to cut some of those out. See, I will never cut out the things of God because that is what keeps me alive. The people that I serve, the being able to educate myself even the further, because there's so much I don't know. I am so excited that there's worlds that I don't know about. So that means I will never run out of content to study. I will never run out of things to do. Start to think that way, and then start to think in a manner that I get to do this. I get to serve. I get to change this. I get to, rather than I have to. I get to go to work. I get to do this business. I get to pay these people. I get to pay these bills. I get to do that because there's so many people in the world that cannot do any of these things. So your motivation will come from your purpose and how you see it. Remember, how you see anything is how you act when you're doing it. If you see it as a hard chore, then it will have no energy. It will have no excitement about it, and you will toil while doing it. If you see it as exciting, as you see it as I get to do this, then what will happen is that you'll be motivated, and then you'll have the energy in order to follow through so that you can succeed in what it is that you desire to succeed in. So like this video, share it with someone, check us out on all the different places that we are, X and all of that. And then I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.